Now we got to get to the big Ramona story. Come on. She reported Lonzo Ball officially changing agencies, signing with CAA. You've really been reporting on everything surrounding Lonzo. Well, he had to cover up the big baller.
You could do it better than that.
We've seen leaving big baller brand, possibly. The hints about maybe Nike, we'll see. I just want to know from you, who has been ahead of this story, really from the beginning, before Lonzo even made it to the pros, how do you think all of this is going to affect what we see from him on the court sort of going forward, the stuff that affects the Lakers?
Yeah, so I talked to Kobe a couple weeks ago. He had a little event about it, and it was right after the first Lonzo story came out. And he said, you know, that's good because Kobe had a similar situation in his life where he changed agents, he changed representation, and he also had a distancing with his dad and his family. And he said, when you take control of your life off the court, it helps you take control of your life on the court. Let's see. I don't know if the fallout with his dad with Lonzo and his dad is as severe.
Significant. Yeah, the Kobe thing was like a real split.
Yeah. That was a real split. And so let's see how distant Lonzo and his dad are. I don't think they're distant. I think they're talking right now. I don't think they're estranged. They're back together as a family. But the question going forward is, are they going to do the brand together? Lonzo signed with CAA. LeVar has spoken to CAA, but that has not come to bear yet. And I think there's still some question about what happens to Big Baller Brand, what happens to the two younger sons. The fact that Lonzo went first on this was really interesting to me, because I thought it was all going to come together. And him making this move on his own was a pretty significant development.
Yeah, I think everything that we're talking about here are talking about these big picture, career trajectory, business off the court. The question is about his play. When I look at Lonzo Ball over the last 2 years, the first thing that jumps out to me is not he was distracted by his dad or by all these cockamamie business ideas. No, I think 99 games out of a possible 164. It's a guy who can't stay healthy. That's number one.
Well, and the shoes play a part in that, though.
I remember that in your piece. I thought that was the most...
have gone to him and said, are you comfortable in these shoes? Because I can tell you, the first version of the shoes that he wore in Summer League, remember when he had that awful debut at Summer League and never wore those shoes again and wore Harden's and Steph Curry's? From what I understand, like that was because he did not feel comfortable and safe in those shoes. Now, the shoes had been redesigned and they're better, but Lonzo flat out said, if I wasn't playing in these, I'd play in Kobe's. And I practice in LeBron's. So clearly these are not shoes that he feels great in. He's just wearing them. But if he starts moving to shoes that he feels more comfortable in, let's see.
That was the most buried part about the piece you wrote about the estrangement with Alan Foster and all that.
He's got all the details.
But no one picked it. Everyone just kind of glossed on, like, the Lakers asked him about his shoes. That's a big deal. But to me, health is the main thing, right? When I see him play, I don't see a guy who's distracted. I don't see a guy. I actually think he's a lot better than people give him credit for, because all they want to see is big numbers on the scoring side, and that's not really the type of player he is. But of course, there's some ancillary kind of, when you're freed up from worrying about that other stuff, that can impact your
How old is Lonzo right now?
21.
21? Yep. Every 21-year-old goes through this to some degree, right? It doesn't have to be so public, but the little bit of separation from their parents, right? Doing things a little bit more independently on their own, learning who they are.
Plane right away versus a car ride.
Right, exactly. All of that stuff. We are seeing it up close on television, and this is what happens. I think everybody's impressed with the steps he's taking.